In this video, we'll go over the data structure available in Groovy called lists. It's pretty close to a linked list and an array list that you might know from Java. So to define it formally, a list is a data structure that holds a collection of data items. These data items can be primitives like integers, floats, or can be object references. When you think about it, think about a sequence of data items, each copying a specific position in the list. And that position is denoted through an integer index. Now, how do you define a list? As you can see on the right side of the screen, you can just define a list using the keyword and square brackets index. And the items are neatly stacked within the list like 11, 12, 13, and 14. So we have a number list that contains integers and another list called languages, which contains strings. Now on line number 7, we use the numberList.size property to just display how many elements it has. And you can see the output at the bottom saying it has 4 elements. The basic usage of list is to add and remove items. You can do that very conveniently using the add and remove methods. Let's look at the add method used to add items to an existing list. It literally just adds the data item to the end of the list. In this case, it returns 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Alright, let's just take a quick look at how this will work. So if I define a list of strings containing capital cities, let's have London and New York. And if I print this list out, it should print out the current contents of the list that are London and New York. Now I can just add to my list, and I can use the same println statement to print out the updated list. So you will see that by using the add method, you can simply add items to the end of the current list. Alright, let's move on. So Groovy provides a lot of useful methods to iterate over lists as well. One of the most widely used ones is the .each method. So the .each method accepts a closure and is very similar to the for each loop within Java. So Groovy passes an implicit parameter called it, which corresponds to the current item on which the iteration is being performed. As you can see on the right side, the list is defined by 4 data items in it. And when you call list.each, it's like running a loop over those 4 values. So the statement that has been executed within the closure is println it times 2, which means that for every element the loop will iterate and print out multiple of 2 multiplied by 2 result. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, as you can see at the bottom. So whenever you think about .each, think about a loop. It's pretty similar to a for each loop. Also, filtering is another operation that is widely used. So you can filter entities from a list using the find or the findAll method. The difference between them is that the find method returns only the first instance of the data item it finds, and the findAll returns all instances of whatever items it filters. So how this works is that the list.find takes a closure as an argument, and in this case, we have it is greater than 15, which means that any item that is greater than 15 will be filtered out with this list. But because we're using the find method, this will only return the first occurrence of the items that it finds. So 11 does not pass the filter, neither does 12. But 23 does pass the filter, so it will produce an output of 23. Now, if you want to do exactly the same thing, but find all instances of items that are greater than 15, then you can use the findAll, and it will print out all instances like 23 and 34, as you can see here. Another useful method used with a list is the collect method. It is used to modify the items in the list and return another list with updated values. How does this work? Let's say I've got a list of names on line number 1, but on line number 2, I'm calling the collect method, and as a closure, I'm passing the word hi plus it to it. So basically what I'm saying is that for each iteration, for each item within my list, it will add the word hi to that. So it becomes, "Hi, Kay. Hi, Syed. Hi, Justin." Of course, there are plenty of other methods you can use on lists. Now let's actually use one of these methods. I will try the collect method. So I'm already printing out the list of capitals, say London and New York, and now I can use the collect method to perform some action on it. And I can append it to it. We need to use a single quote out here. Now when you execute this, it will append the string "Great City of" to the list items that are included. And the output will be "Great City of London" and "Great City of New York." That was it about the lists in Groovy.